So I just nearly blew myself up. This is dry powder residue from a fire extinguisher. This fire extinguisher, which might have just saved my life. I was using my oxyacetylene gear yesterday, day before, and today, doing bits and pieces, annealing some copper gaskets, stuck bolt removal from this cap, and then heating up a gate stay that drops into the ground just to give it a little bit of a bend. At some point during that process, the torch that I was using, this one, developed a rather scary fault, in the sense that flames started emerging from this point here, this seal here. You know the way if you don't control the oxygen properly, you get a pop and it goes out. Sometimes you get a little bit of flame emerging from the nozzle, but at this point a little bit of flame was emerging from the handle. Yeah, handle's dead, not using that again unless I can get it refurbed. So I switched to this torch. Not ideal using a cutting torch just for heating purposes, but it does the job. You can use it not as a cutting torch by just opening that valve, and then you get your normal control. So I did the final job that I was doing with this torch, put the torch down, and then, like a total idiot, didn't do what I'd done every other time I've used it, which is then double and triple check that I've turned everything off and evacuated the gas from the lines. What I actually did was just leave them all on and primed. Continued with my gate fabrication, which involved cutting this piece of metal in half on a chop saw. A chop saw here, right next to these two gas bowls. Now, unbeknownst to me, when this acetylene bottle is on, which is opened by rotating this valve here using this lever, it leaks a little bit. There's a little bit of an acetylene leak around here, apparently. So I'm busy chop sawing that metal in half. Just as it finished, this caught fire. Here, as in when I say caught fire, there's a jet of flame emerging from it. Now, immediate tiny bit of panic. Oh, it's open, let's try and close it. I wasn't sure exactly why it was venting at that point, so I tried to first of all close it here. In my sort of panic, ended up knocking it over. So as it fell over, hit the ground, this is now in the off position. When it's on, it's open over here, was knocked out and the valve was loose, and that opened it up a little bit further, which resulted in much more flame coming out and it now being lying on the floor, not reachable. So standing about here, that gas bottle's on the floor with jets of flame, acetylene, yellow flame. Yeah, that was quite scary. What the fuck am I going to do? There's actually a bucket of water just behind it, not for the purpose of extinguishing, but it's there anyway. Fuck, right, panic, run. Then I thought fire extinguisher. At which point this extinguisher, which is the extinguisher from the kit car, which actually lives here. Grabbed that, pulled the tab, got in close, emptied the whole thing over the valve area, which extinguished it. Thank God. And I got my garage extinguisher, which is this one, which is unable to be used. It's too old. I don't know what the date is on it, but that needs replacing, as does that hero. So yeah, respect the oxy gear, check your fire extinguishers.